Worked out well, the one that you showed me.
Hi folks, got Colin here with me live. If you have ever thought about extending your house and you thought, maybe I can't do it, it's too expensive, is it even possible to do? Well, hang with us for this video. It's going to be about 7 or 8 minutes long. I've got Colin live on site. And yes, normally he goes out and he does large projects all over the country. He's actually at his own place, I believe, Col. Is that right?
Yeah.
So, okay, tell us briefly what you're doing, and then maybe we can go through, if possible, 3 key things that would be really useful for them to know when looking to extend the house and maybe adding some value to it.
Yeah, sure. So I'm in our garden at the moment, and what I've got is we've started to extend our garage, if you can see that. So
right, so this is a normal garage space. So this is one a lot of people in this country will have, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So we've got a garden, and essentially we've got the driveway coming up. So you can see here how we've actually extended the area on the ground to add more square footage. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So the garage sits at the back there, and we're bringing it forward so that we can actually make it more usable. Now, the garage is stuck right in the corner. It's a real awkward space because you can't really get windows in there or anything. So we have to extend it. So by extending it, we can now actually make it really usable. So we've got the garage. We're going to bring it forward to this point now. And so this actually is going to turn it into about 45 square meters, which is the size of a really good flat.
As you're doing this, I'm going to type this up for anybody watching. I'm going to put add value, meaning I guess what we're saying here is look and see what you can do, not just to extend, but ultimately add value. Is that because the minute it becomes a livable space, there is a price per square meter from a valuation perspective?
That's right. I mean, at the end of the day, the value of the house is based on what square meterage you have. It's not price per square foot where I live, but they will always take that into account. So this space is going to become a studio come sleeping area. Okay, so for people that stay over, we're very fortunate where essentially we could use this space for a number of different reasons. And actually one of our goals is to be able to help maybe those that can't necessarily go away, you know, for our personal reasons. We want to try and help people that can't do that. They can come and stay for a weekend or something like that. Fantastic. So it gives to open that up, open the doors up. But because we're now converting what is a dead space, so if I show you in here our wonderful garage space, look at this, look, right? It's literally just been a storage area. Yes. And so garages are storage areas. Back in the day, garages were created for cars that rusted a lot. They need to be protected, but cars last now. They don't need that, and they're actually not at a good size for today's modern cars. So they become storage areas. So turn it into something that actually you can use and add value.
Okay, so whilst we're on that, so that's, I think, the first tip. The second one is, and you spoke about this to me just before we went live, is the concept of simplifying. So I was asking you, why don't you just extend it out with bricks and you know, do a complete brick structure there? And you explained to me why you've chosen not to do that. Can you talk to our viewers on that one? And I'll just put it up on the screen. So would simplify be a good way to put it?
And actually, it's a really good point, because even my wife was saying, no, should we do it in brick? Because the garage is brick. Look, right. So the garage is brick there. But actually, the cost of bricklayers coming onto site now, I need scaffolding, I need all these extra things to be able to do courses. Brick, the foundations would be slightly different as well. Suddenly.
Oh, we've lost Colin there. I think I'm still live with you. I'm hoping he can rejoin us. Yes, he's coming back in now. Let's just pull Colin back in.
Yeah, can you hear me?
There? Right. So you were saying about the comparison between building it with brick versus what looks to be a timber structure there.
Yeah, so we've gone for a timber frame. So rather than having the bricklayers, wet trades coming on site with scaffold, we're going to use a timber frame system. It's quicker to get up on site. I've got my carpet, so I don't need a full scaffold. I've got the tower in there. You can probably just see it behind me there. And it goes up so quick. So we've actually managed to get this up in less than 1.5 days.
Oh my gosh. So
right up to this point, we insulate that, we can clad that in the material that we want. We're actually going to go for a similar material to this here, what we've got on our little cabin out there.
So you're getting the U values, you get the insulation you'd need as though it was a normal house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And my wife was actually asking, is it going to be strong enough? Is it going to be safe enough? Is it going to, you know, because people do get worried about using timber. They do. But actually, it's a really, really good material. Now, the thing is, we can insulate our buildings better than brick houses.
Australia, Canada, Europe, it's a common feature, this type of structure.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at Scandinavia. Their buildings last centuries in timber.
Yeah. Okay, so this is great for everybody watching because that, there's a perception here, but actually when it's finished, it looks the same and it's probably better insulated. Also, the storage of materials on site, that's just wood, whereas you've had bricks, getting them all laid. You're not talking about days, a week or so.
Lugging it up the drive, you've got a lot of brickwork. I mean, we could have built a traditional cavity wall here, gives us the normal way we build, but we're so used to using that method, you don't have to use that method. And the speed of this going up is a lot quicker.
Okay, so I want to bring up one last point. I'm going to put my, I'm going to go back into my edit here. You, before the call, you said to me, one of the things you've done is working with the trays just simply without going through the full big construction process. What would be a term I could put that down here? Simplified, working with the trays? What's the phrase?
Well, really, it's actually about planning. So
planning,
about planning it well. If you plan it from the start, so I drew up the scheme, I come up with a proposal to build it in timber frame, right? So plan that right from the off. It's not just a second thought. So we plan it well, we can then just lay things out in line. And because it's not a huge project this way.
So the planning meaning, forget the planning permission because that's separate, but we can come back to that on another video. What you mean is planning out the work that's needed, and instead of having a huge amount of people, just bringing them in, working one-to-one with the different trades.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm more than happy to show you the stages as we go through, because we're doing the timber frame now. I'm then going to be putting the roof on the top there, right? We're going to have a vaulted ceiling in there, and then I'm going to be going inside, insulating the floor.
Why don't we get you up on another live, and maybe we could list it out, for example, to show them those stages. That would be amazing. And in doing that, Cole, working directly with people that are worried about cost, I'm assuming that the overall cost of this has come dramatically down to what it would have been had you gone down a formal route.
Yeah, by at least sort of 25-30%.
Wow, that's a big saving.
Yeah, it is. And that's the thing, planning it and just doing it economically in scale. I mean, I'm very fortunate, and this is how I work with my clients, is I can produce the information and then get prices and packages for them pieces of information. If I go just a contractor and they're going to do the whole thing, you don't really have that kind of approach because they'll do it themselves, So, and this is how, if you open it up slightly and if you're more engaged, you can actually do it this way and save you money.
Okay, that's great. I'll tell you what we'll do. If anyone watching is going to follow this, if it's all right, maybe we'll just drop back in and watch the progress of this. It's a great learning lesson for everybody.
No, more than happy to share.
All right. Thank you, Cole, for joining us. And keep an eye out, everybody that watches this, because you'll see more of these over the coming weeks. See you again, Cole.
Great. Take care.